You are onto another edition of Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. First, the headlines. Ekiti State Government seeks stronger collaboration to boost bulk power transmission. WAP begins transmission project to connect 4 countries. Experts seek more access to data for effective, efficient power sector regulation. Plus, the interview session in this edition focuses on TCN's Port Harcourt region, where the Power Wheel team interviewed the general manager of the region, Engineer Solomon Uyoko. Engineer Uyoko spoke on how the company had delivered several transmission projects in the region. Get more trending reports from this program as you stick with us on this edition. I am Onyema Iketubosin. The Ekiti State Government has sought stronger collaborations with the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, to increase the capacity of bulk electricity supply to the state for onward delivery to households by the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC.
This was a fallout of a recent meeting with Ekiti State Commissioner of Infrastructure, Mr. Bamidele Fakparosi, when he paid a courtesy call on the management of TCN at its headquarters in Abuja. The Commissioner and former member, House Committee on Power at the House of Representatives, lauded TCN management for the warm welcome. He said his visit was on the instruction of the Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Kayode Fayemi, as a follow-up to his previous visit to TCN to discuss areas of collaboration for improved bulk power transmission to the state.
At present, Ekiti State is being served with 26 megawatts from National Grid. That is the population of 3.5 million people. 26 megawatts is what is being evacuated to Ekiti State, which is grossly inadequate to serve the people.
The Commissioner said Ekiti State has just one 133 kV transmission substation, while some states have 2 to 3. Hence, there was need for accelerated collaboration to build more substations to Ekiti.
When we look at our archives, when we resumed, we noticed there are a lot of communication between TCN and the state between 2014 and 2015, which is supposed to translate to construction of 330 kV line to Ekiti State. We noticed that communication stopped sometimes in October 2015. 2015. We are aware of the challenges maybe you are facing at that time, like every other agency of government.
He noted that the present government was ready to support TCN's projects in the state and urged the company to speed up its plans for the states.
I think it's important for TCN to come back to Ekiti. Ekiti is open for TCN now, and that's why Mr. Governor has directed us to come and have this meeting with you to be able to come to town precisely when our own 330 kV project will commence in Ekiti State.
Responding, the Managing Director, CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Gold Mohammed, said there is robust reform in TCN that allows it to deliver timely on power transmission projects. Clarifying the status of Ekiti State on power transmission, he said,
but Ekiti should have what it deserves, and it's a plan of TCN to make all headquarters of state headquarters, state capital, or at least every state should have one 330 kV substation, substation. At least, even if it is not in the headquarters, in the state, they should have one 330 kV substation.
Continuing, Mr. Mohammed said TCN was seeking multilateral funding to deliver on the 330 kV Ekiti transmission substation, adding that he has directed that a feasibility study be carried out on the project.
If we do the study and we complete it, we'll sign memorandum of understanding with the state to support us. I think we should be able to move faster. Then from there, we can also look at the possibility of putting 132 in Ilupeju.
The head transmission service provider TSP of TCN, Engineer Victor Adewumi, spoke of some quick wins to boost bulk power supply to the state. He said there is an ongoing transmission line project from Oshogbo to Benin North, which can be linked to the 132 kV substation in Ado-Ekiti to increase the substation's capacity.
We are going to get 80 megawatts going to Ekiti directly, as against the less than 30 that is going to Ekiti for now. So I don't think that will be on a short time basis. But what Ekiti is demanding for is what the commissioner has said, and I think that is what will permanently solve Ekiti supply.
Approving of this initiative, Mohammed said,
that can be done very quickly now. Yeah, so we can even use our in-house resources to do it. So, and I know that the 330 has a spare feeders, spare base, so we can just do that one quickly. But in the long run, let's work on how we're going to do the 330 in Ado-Ekiti.
The Chairman, Executive Board of the West African Power Pool, WAP, Mr. Usman Gul Mohammed, has inaugurated the implementation unit of WAP North Core Interconnection Project that would connect 4 West African countries for increased power evacuation from Nigeria.
Mr. Mohammed, who is also the Managing Director CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, inaugurated a team at the TCN headquarters in Abuja. He said,
we believe that we have made the right choice on choosing Mendele to be the leader of this project. He runs the entire electricity of Niger, and that is a very, very complex electricity. It's not like our own where we have one grid. He has so many generators scattered all over the country. And he has the transmission side that run from Nigeria to Niger and also from Benin Kebbi to Yamai.
He said the WAP North Core project would link power utilities in the countries through 330 kilovolts, double-cycle transmission lines to ensure seamless energy transmission from Nigeria to Niger Republic, Benin Republic, and Burkina Faso. Given reasons for hosting the Project Implementation Unit, PIU, Secretariat in Nigeria, Mohammed said,
we have the highest experience of 330 in West Africa. Therefore, the decision to site it here is because to tap at the experience of Nigeria to ensure that this project is implemented very well. So it's not for nothing. So we are supposed to work together with you to ensure that the experience that we have on 330 kV construction is also leverage on you so that we can do better. That is part of the reason. The second reason is that we want to send the right signal to the political authorities in Nigeria because the source of supply will be from here. Therefore, we want Nigeria to own this project as its own so that it will be committed in supplying energy on this line.
The project director and team leader, Engineer Jibril Melele, expressed appreciation for TCN's support and assured of the team's readiness to implement and deliver the project in good time.
Our side will do the maximum in our capacity to deliver the project in due time and in the good quality of execution. Having said that, I would say thank you for TCN and TCN staff.
Introducing members of the implementation unit to the WAP chairman during the inauguration, the project head said that the team is made up of a collection of experts who are quite experienced to handle the project.
Having really a team, we are satisfied based on the quality of the element and the experience that they have. You can see it through their faces, and I don't know if we have to share their CV. I am really honored to have to lead such a team, and I think we don't have any excuse not to deliver the project on due time.
The head independent system operator, ISO, in TCN, Engineer Maman Lawal advised the team to leverage on the expertise of TCN whenever they can during the project duration.
Wherever you feel you can be of help, okay, don't hesitate to contact us. Considering that we have different, and of course, integrated project management units, and sometimes you require certain, you have all this, you have the expertise across the board.
The head transmission service provider, TSP, also in TCN, Engineer Victor Adeumi, noted that the WAP interconnection project, which aims at interconnecting West African states, would spread to the entire Africa in future, just as is obtainable in Europe and America. Commending the team, he said,
your project is a very good one, and I'm particularly happy that your PIU is located here in Nigeria. We have a lot of experience when it comes to managing this kind of project. So like my colleague said, if you need help in any area, don't hesitate to call on us. I know by the time your project progresses, especially to the final stage, of course, we are going to be involved.
Energy experts at the May edition of the Next Year Power Dialogue in Abuja reached a consensus that there was need to create access to more data and statistical systems for effective and efficient regulation in the Nigerian power sector.
Mr. Kenny Amuwe, an official of the Rural Electrification Agency and moderator for the May edition of the dialogue with the theme, Towards a Data-Centric Electricity Market, said the session was a third in the series of discussion that focused on coordination and sector governance. Speaking to the audience, he said,
I want us to be broad-minded. You'll have opportunities to ask questions. You'll have a whole hour for that. But let's just, try to mine the minds of these intelligent people here tonight.
The participants discussed data coordination-related challenges and in different parts of the sector's value chain and suggested possible solutions. They also provided insight on data dissemination and validation processes between the power sector stakeholders and how robust data access can drive transparency and accountability in the electricity market. A panelist and the Executive Secretary, Association of Power Generation Companies, APGC, Dr. Joy Ogaji, said there was need for quality and high quantity of data.
I think what we are focusing on would be the quantity and the quality of data we have in the power sector currently. A situation where the regulated is the one who supplies the data to the regulator is something we need to ponder on. For me to regulate you means I have oversight function over you. I don't know if I'm right. So if I have oversight function over you means I should own my own data. So I should have a policy, an internal policy that allows me to keep a data that has integrity.
In his submission, the team leader, Capacity Building and Technical Assistance Program for Nigeria Power Distribution Sector at AF Macados Consultancy, Mr. Jose Guerra, said the distribution companies DISCOs need to adopt technology to manage their 8.3 million customer database.
There are daily operations that all these DISCOs they do. And when they try to put that information in some kind of technology, they're still running on very old technology. And when you ask them to extract something from the database, it's really like an effort for them to get it. And the problem of the effort is that sometimes the effort comes wrong. And then you have information, but it's a wrong information. So I would say that technology connected to data with detailed data is a must, and that goes through investment.
Equally, the head advisory power team At the office of the Vice President, Mr. Muyiwa Abiodun noted that the most operators in the electricity supply industry are running a monopoly that needs to be highly regulated.
When you have a monopoly and you have to regulate that monopoly, you need as much information as possible to clearly look at what they're doing. So the regulator especially cannot afford to have this, regulated monopolies be opaque.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has delivered several transmission projects in Port Harcourt region in the southern part of Nigeria, with the recent being the first phase of the 60 MVA Ekim transmission substation in Akwa Ibom State. The General Manager, Port Harcourt region, Engineer Solomon Uyoko, in this interview, speaks of these feats and exhorts TCN staff in the region to work harder. Apart from the Ekim substation that TCN recently commissioned, what other projects are being executed in this region?
The one that is ongoing now is the 75 reactor, 75 reactor at Ikotegbani, which the plinth has been completed. The reactor is already at Ikotegbani. It has to be put on the plinth, installed and commissioned. Other projects that we have around here have already been completed, like the 300 MVA transformer in Aluji that has been completed, the 150 MVA transformer in Afam that has been completed long ago. Since we are still talking about in-house, the 60 MVA transformer we completed in U, 40 MVA transformer in Umohia were also completed and commissioned. 60 MVA transformer also in Aba. All this done in-house, and also a 90 MVA transformer in Yenagwa, Bayelsa State.
How robust is TCN's interface with the DISCO in this region?
In this region, we have a cordial relationship with DISCO, and we're having an interface meeting. If we have any issue, we sit down together and resolve. If they have issue, we can help them, we do. And if we have, they also. So we have a very cordial relationship when it comes to relationship.
What challenges does this region face?
Challenge of manpower.
Okay.
The old hands are retiring, and no new ones are coming in to understudy and learn from them. Almost in a monthly basis, if I put it that way, we have one staff or the other retiring, no replacement. Okay. So it's a big challenge. The staff, we are looking up to headquarters to give us the go-ahead to employ for us to be able to meet it up.
What is your advice to the TCN staff in this region?
The staff in this region, for one, they are very cooperative and they are very hard-working. Very cooperative and very hard-working, which I want to encourage. There's a team spirit, and if I may take you a little bit back, I was in project management unit. So that was the spirit we were using, and I brought the same spirit to this place for us to work as a team. Because if one staff succeed on his or her own and the others are not succeeding, then that is no success. So I would want to encourage them to work harder, because management also is doing all it can to better the welfare of the staff.
Let's take a break for a message. Please stay tuned.
Not built under transmission power lines for your safety and health. Electricity power lines and substations, either for power transmission or power distribution services, are extremely dangerous when exposed to direct human contact. These power lines and substations transmit electricity that lights up our homes and offices, power our computers, TVs, and refrigerators. On the other hand, the same electricity, when exposed, is extremely dangerous. It can shock, electrocute, and kill anyone on its way. That is why everyone must adopt safety measures whenever we use or are close to electricity facilities like power lines or substation or transformers. For the safety of the people and animals, governments all over the world have approved way leave or right-of-way of 50 meters for 330 kV power lines and 30 meters for 132 kV power lines, and for 33 kV lines the way leave is 15 meters. People are not expected to be found within this way leave or right-of-way for safety reasons. The lines can suddenly cut and fall to the ground with very disastrous consequences such as fire and electrocution of anybody and destruction of anything, be it vehicle, houses or vegetation on its line. It has also been established that power lines and substation emit electromagnetic fields, EMF, which is dangerous to human health. The World Health Organization, WHO, has warned that people who spend long hours under or close high-tension lines stand the risk of being affected by EMF and be vulnerable to cancer, leukemia in children, miscarriages among pregnant women, and other terrible diseases. It is therefore advisable not to build any structure or operate any business under or near any electricity high-tension lines or substations. TCN wants you to stay alive, stay safe, stay healthy, avoid power lines. This message is from the Management of Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN.
Here are comments on our feedback segment for this edition. On our Facebook page, we have the following comments. TCN posted on its Facebook page the graduation ceremony of the Advanced Defense Intelligence Officers Course 12 2019 on effective power production and delivery as a catalyst for Nigeria's national development. The ceremony was presided over by Chief of Defense Intelligence, Air Vice Marshal M.S. Usman, with the Managing Director of TCN, Mr. Yuji Mohammed, in attendance. The posted picture showed Mr. Yuji Mohammed being recognized for his contribution towards the success of the course. There were 6 comments and 20 people shared the post. Top of the comments are, Engineer Mutalib Boladale said, "Congratulations, sir." Kerry Ete, GMNSC said, "Nice one. The power sector is doing a great job." "Congratulations, great job, God bless you all," a Facebook user, Evans Chibuchi, posted. In a comment, Ahmad Al-Arabi said, "Good job. We wish same to TCN staff. We know you are doing well, sir. More grease to your elbow." Anthony Alfred simply said, "Congratulations, sir. You deserve the best." On the Twitter page, TCN retweeted a headline on $1 billion metering 3,163 MVA injection capacity gaps threaten power supply, posted by Punch newspapers. A tweeter identified as the Boss 702 replied to the tweet, "Nigeria's power sector will experience a tremendous positive change if we can have the political and strong will to execute the recommendations of the French Agency for Development." We appreciate your comments on our social media platforms, and we will do more to serve you better. We are glad you followed through on this edition. Join us next week on this same station for another edition of Power Wheel. This episode and the previous ones are available on our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. I am Onyema Iketubosin. Goodbye.